Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn the prepositions, an important part of speech. In English grammar, not only do the students but also the teachers are sometimes in doubt when it comes to the use of prepositions. This presentation shows how some common prepositions are used according to the time, space and directions. A preposition is a word placed before a noun or pronoun to show the relation in which one person or thing stands to another person or thing. It is usually placed before the word it controls, the most common being the words showing time, space, position, and direction relationship. Let us see the example. The book is on the table. In this sentence, we have two nouns, two subjects, the book and the table. The word on is the preposition used in this sentence, which is showing the relation between these two subjects. Where is the book? The book is on the table. The use of prepositions. Prepositions are used with reference to time and reference to space. With reference to time, they may denote a point of time or a period of time. A point of time will tell you a particular time as 8 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 8 p.m., 4 a.m., etc. Whereas a period of time tells us like 8 years, 5 years, 8 months, 4 weeks, etc. Now, let us see the prepositions which are used with reference to time. We have the prepositions at, in, and on which are used with reference to time. Let us first take the preposition at. At is used for a point of time. Example, the function will be held at 7 o'clock sharp. Here the point of time is given, that is a particular time is given, that is 7 o'clock. You were called at 7 a.m. Why are you late? So 7 a.m. again exact point of time. They left for the city at sunset. What is the point of time? Sunset, sunrise. So a particular definite point of time is given and for that we use the preposition at. Next preposition which is used with reference to time after at is in. In is used for a period of time in which something happens. Earlier we said that at is used for a point of time. In is used for a period of time. Example is the function took place in the evening. We are not given the exact time. Point of time is not given. The period of time is given, that is evening. You were called in the morning. So in the evening, in the morning, in the afternoon, we use the preposition in. India got freedom in 1947. Okay, period of time. Same way, if it is month, I was born in the month of August. These are the examples which are used with the preposition in. Now let us take example of preposition on. On is used with particular dates and days. Let's revise. At is used for point of time. In is used for the period of time and on is used for particular dates and days. She died on Sunday. Sunday is a day. The ship reached the harbor on the 10th of May 1965. The date is given. One thing that we should keep in mind is that the days like today, yesterday, tomorrow, with these days we do not use any preposition. Suppose we are saying, I'll meet him on today. The meeting will be on tomorrow. Such sentences are entirely wrong. I will meet him today. The meeting will take place tomorrow. I met my friend yesterday. Don't use on with any of the days like today, yesterday and tomorrow. With reference to time, we have again the preposition in, within and before. In preposition denotes the end of a period of time. Now please keep in mind, earlier also we have done the preposition in, which was used for a period of time. Here it is showing the end of a period of time. Example, John will return in a week. In a week means at the end of the week. I leave in a month. Leave in a month means at the end of a month I will leave. Let us see the use of the preposition within. Within denotes any time before the expiry of a period. Example, John will return within a week. It means John will return before 1 week is over. He could return in 3 days, 6 days or any time before the end of 7 days. Whereas the preposition before is used when we refer to a point of time. Remember, within we are talking about the period and before the point of time. John will return before 10th May. 10th May is particular point of time. So that is before a fixed point. With reference to time, we have the prepositions after and in. Now, after preposition denotes the end of a period of time in the past. We are using the preposition after when we are showing the end of a period but in the past tense. Example, she returned after a month when the month was over. After preposition is used, let us see the tense used. It is written returned. Simple past tense is used. On the other hand, the preposition in, it denotes the end of a period of time in the future. Example, she will return in a year after the year is over. Now, we cannot use after when we are using the future tense. She returned in a year. It is wrong. She will return after a month. Prepositional way, it is wrong. So, the correct usage is that past tense with the preposition after and when we are talking about the end of the period. And with the future tense, end of the period, we use the preposition in. With reference to time, we use the prepositions by and till also. Let us see where do we use by and where do we use till. By denotes not later than. We will leave this place by 6 o'clock. It means not after 6 o'clock. A limit is given, time limit not later than. Till means up to a certain period. We will be staying in Delhi till next Monday, not after next Monday. So, this is the difference between by and till. Now, let us talk about the prepositions since, for and from with reference to time. Since preposition is used for a point of time. She has not been in touch since last Monday. Point of time, particular time, that is last Monday, and we are using the preposition since. For is used for a period of time. The boy has been ill for 2 days. The period is shown 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years. For point of time, when it is given particularly last Monday, last July, 15th of May, these are the points of time. Period of time means 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months or 2 years. So since is used for point of time, for is used for a period of time. Whereas the preposition from is used for a point of time but can be preceded by a verb in any tense. So difference is that since and for, when we are using these two prepositions, we use these prepositions with the perfect tense. Whereas the preposition from can be used with any of the tenses, any of the verbs. Example, you can see since and for, has been, has not been. So perfect tense is used over here. In from example, we have used the future tense. Any tense can be used with the verb. After discussing the prepositions with reference to time, let us now move to the use of prepositions with reference to space or place. Here, let us take two prepositions, at and in. At preposition is used with the names of small towns and villages. Example, he lives at Nagpur in Maharashtra. In this sentence, two places are mentioned. One is Nagpur, other is Maharashtra. If you compare these two places, Maharashtra is the bigger one and Nagpur is a small one. Maharashtra is the state and Nagpur is the town of Maharashtra, city of Maharashtra. So we have used at preposition with the smaller place, that is Nagpur. Maharashtra is big, we are using in preposition with that. Second, in preposition is used with the names of big cities, states and countries. The Prime Minister lives in Delhi in India. When we look at this sentence, the places mentioned are Delhi and India. Now Delhi is a big city, India is a country. So for both these places, we are going to use the preposition in. Okay? In preposition for big cities, states and countries, continents also. At with small towns, villages and even for colonies. We can write like this also. I live at Motikunj in Mathura. Mahatma Gandhi was born at Porbandar in Gujarat. So bigger place in, smaller place at. But if in a sentence both the places are big or a country or a continent, then we use in at both the places. Use of preposition in and into with reference to space. Preposition in denotes rest or position inside something. They are waiting in the room. She was in the hall. In both the sentences, the subjects are at rest, waiting or in the hall. There is no activity involved, so we use the preposition in. Whereas the preposition into denotes motion towards the inside of something. He came into the room. Motion from outside to inside. Activity is involved. Coming into the room. He walked into the hall. From outside the hall to inside the hall. So let us remember, when the subject is at rest, we use the preposition in. When some activity or motion or movement is involved, we use the preposition into. Preposition on and upon are used in the same way as the preposition in and into are used with reference to space. On is used when we refer to something at rest. We were made to sit on the floor at rest. The servant sat on the carpet at rest. So preposition in and on, in both the prepositions, we are talking about the subjects at rest. Upon is generally used to denote motion. The cat sprang upon the table. The cat jumped upon the table. It is showing some motion. The tiger sprang upon the deer. Motion is there. So upon and into, both these prepositions are dealing with some activity or denoting some motion. Use of prepositions after and behind with reference to space. Preposition after refers to position or place. The police ran after the thieves. Behind preposition also refers to position or place. But see the usage of these prepositions. He stood behind the door. We don't say he stood after the door. After is showing the position that the police ran after the thieves, chasing the thieves. But standing after will not work. It is standing behind the door. Use of prepositions by and with reference to space. By preposition is used after verbs in passive voice to denote the agent or the doer. When we are changing the active voice into passive voice, at that time in the passive voice we use the word by with the doer. Like the boy was saved by the stranger. By is used as a preposition over here. She was searched by the police. So by is used to denote the agent or the doer. Whereas the preposition with, it denotes the instrument with which the action was carried out. By with the agent and with the instrument by which the action is carried out. Example, the serpent was killed with the stick. Now, with what the serpent was killed? With a stick. We will not say by a stick. It can be the serpent was killed with the stick by Rohit. He cut the log with an axe. With an axe means axe is an instrument which is used to cut the log. So by is used with the agent and with is used for the instrument. Now use of the prepositions between and among. Between preposition is used for two persons, two things, two nouns or two subjects. Like share this biscuit between the two girls. Shekhar and Ravi fought between themselves. Whereas preposition among is used with more than two persons or things. More than two means it can be 3, it can be 10, it can be 100, it can be 1000, going to any extent. Example, there is said to be honor even among thieves. It means we are talking about thieves, countless. So, among preposition is used over here. The four friends shared the packet of biscuits among themselves. Number is already given, the four friends. So, we will be using the preposition among. So, difference between and among is between for two people and among more than two. Let us now see the usage of the prepositions beside and besides with reference to space. Let us see the difference between beside and besides. Beside means by the side of or outside of. He sat beside me to discuss the problem. It means he sat by my side to discuss the problem. His speaking ill about me is beside the point. Here beside the point means beyond the point. Whereas the preposition beside means in addition to. Example, besides Meera, all of you are invited. This sentence says that not only is Meera invited, but also all of you. Or in addition to Meera, all of you are invited. Besides being rich, she is famous. Not only is she rich, but also famous. In addition to being rich, she is famous. So, the difference is beside means by the side of and besides mean in addition to. One thing to be noted is that when we are using the preposition besides, in that sentence, we should not use the word also. Suppose, if I say, besides Meera, all of you are also invited. This is slightly wrong because besides automatically means in addition to. Also is not needed. So, besides Meera, all of you are invited is the correct one. Let us see the use of the prepositions above, below, across. Above preposition is used in a higher position, like death is hanging above my head. It means over. I was surprised to see my name above his. Now, when we are using the preposition above, we have another preposition over. Let me discuss what is the difference between the preposition above and over. Above preposition is used when there is more space between two things. When space is more, we use the preposition above. When the space when the two things are very close to one another, then we are using the preposition over. Another example we can have, the aeroplane flew above the clouds. Whereas when we have to use the preposition over, we will say he put nets over the plant. Net and the plants, there is not much difference. There is not much space. But aeroplane flew above the clouds means there is more space between the two objects. Below preposition. Below preposition means a lower level than the other. He is much below me in rank. I live in the flat below his. The preposition across means from one side to the opposite. I live across the street. It means on the opposite side of the street. The boy ran across the road from one side of the road to the other side. And also the boy swam across the river, swimming from one side to the other. The preposition towards denotes in the direction of. They moved towards the setting sun. She ran towards the police station for help. So in the direction of the police station, in the direction of the setting suns. When direction is there, we use the preposition towards. Preposition through. It indicates a piercing action and also the happening of something. Piercing action. The sword ran through him. Piercing action of the sword. Another example of through can be like suppose we are reading a book and we have read the whole book. We will use the preposition I have gone through the book. It means I have read each and every page of the book starting from first page to the end page. Another example for happening of something is the deal fell through. It means the deal was not successful. The deal was a failure. The deal came through. The deal was successful. It means succeeding in making the deal. So, fell through means failure. Came through means successful. Use of the preposition around and against. Around refers to a surrounding position. He looked around himself and then batted. It means looking to all the surroundings. Around. The path around the statue was concrete. The preposition against, it indicates opposition of some kind. The car slammed against the tree. The car hit against the tree. He leaned against the wall. He leaned against the wall means he took the support of the wall. He was standing, taking the support of the wall. So we will use the preposition against. She did it against her wishes. I went against him because he was selfish. In these last two examples, when we are using the preposition against, it is showing some kind of opposition. Some more prepositions with reference to space are over, under, and along. The prepositions over and under are already discussed when we were talking about the prepositions above and below. And we discussed the difference between the prepositions over and above, below and under. Over preposition indicates a position above something or somebody. I leaned over my son to explain the sentence. Under indicates a position below somebody or something. I put my suitcase under the table. I hope you remember the examples when we did below. It was I live in the flat below his. We cannot write I live in a flat under his. So this is the difference between under and below. Along preposition is used when we are talking about through any part of the length of or from one end to the other. Example, I took a walk along the broken path, along the part of the length of the road. I took a walk along. The trees were planted all along the roadside. All along the roadside means from one end to the other end of the roadside, the trees were planted. So, these were some of the prepositions which are commonly used when we talk about time or place. Apart from that, we have some of the phrase prepositions which are used like single prepositions, like in spite of, on behalf of, in front of, by means of, because of, by virtue of, in case of, instead of, according to, in regard to, along with, in view of, in place of. These are some of the phrase prepositions. I hope all the points which were discussed related to the use of the prepositions were little beneficial to all of you. Thank you.